Hey everybody, hope you're doing well, that you're having a good weekend. Thought I would share a little story from my day and just some thoughts to go with it. This morning I was driving out to Eastern Kentucky and I was driving early in the morning, so I was looking into the sunrise the whole way. And at one point I put my hand up to block the light, and the thought that went through my head was, my hand is bigger than the sun. And I realized that's ridiculous and it's not true, and I know that the sun is bigger, but that's not what I saw. And so I just decided that was a matter of perspective. And I still had a while to go on my drive, so I started thinking about some of the other things in my life that I thought looked big. And I ended up, just turning around all these time consuming things in my life, or stress inducing, or these things that appear to be so imminent issues, or, questions that don't ever go away. And I was trying to decide, are these things really big, or is that just the way that I see them? Is it skewed by my perspective? And my first thought, the first thing I wanted to jump to, was to think, well, God is bigger, and He sees the whole universe, He made the whole universe, and He can give me a new perspective. And then I'll see that these things in my eyes, they don't really matter because God is bigger. And I wanted to go that direction, but God said to me, I'm with you. And I stopped and I tried to think, what does that mean? And I decided that if God was with me, if Jesus was, right beside me, then He can see the things that I see. If Jesus was in the car with me, He'd think that my hand looked bigger than the sun too. He can see things from my perspective. And I think He cares about those all-consuming, those huge questions and concerns that I have. And I think that God's not going to discount how big something seems to me or how big something seems to you, because He can see it that way too, because He's with you. But then the most amazing part, I think, is that God is not only with me and with you, but right now He's everywhere. So not only can He see what I see and see what you see and see from our perspectives, but He sees with two perspectives. He sees beyond what I have the ability to see. And so I'm not going to ask God to give me a new perspective. I'm not going to ask Him to take away the way that I see things and to let me see only the bigger picture. I'm going to ask God to give me two perspectives, because I want to know how you see the world. I want to know what looks big to you. God created us with eyes to see. He created us with our perspective. Nobody else sees the world the way that you do. Nobody sees things the way that I do. And I think God wants it that way so we can share with each other. But I also want you to see that you're part of a whole. I want you to see that God's placed you in community. And I want you to see, that you have a destiny in our world. And I think that when God allows us to see these things, when He allows us to see beyond just our normal human ability to see, then we start to realize that the things in our lives that look big are not going to be things that stop us. Because we know that things are bigger. We're going to see with these two perspectives. If I allow God to give me two perspectives, then I'm going to see that my hand is big, but I'm going to know that the sun is bigger. So my prayer for you is that God will give you two perspectives. And I hope you're doing well. And thanks for listening to my thoughts.